Welcome back to the Cordless Vacuum Guide, and after completing the V12 review and comparing it to the V15, I decided to do a video comparing the different Dyson Cordless Vacuum options from the V6 to the current V-Series options, including the V12 and V15. This video is an overview of Dyson Cordless Vacuums to educate consumers like yourself on how these generations are different to help choose the right model that will suit your needs. Please check my other videos to see detailed 1v1 comparisons on specific variants. So which model is the best? It will depend on your budget, preferences, and other considerations we'll look at in this video, so let's get into it. Dyson is a pioneer of the bagless cordless vacuums many consumers have grown fond of. It's the first brand to implement the current stick vacuum configuration with a dustbin motor and filter on top, so it's possible to use it in various configurations. Other brands have caught on, and even ones that previously didn't have bagless vacuums have released their own versions. There are three distinct generations. The early generation DC to the V6 with a vertically aligned dustbin without a hygienic system. Next in line is the V7 and V8 series with the same vertically aligned dustbin but with a hygienic system, making it easier to empty. A big sticking point for V6 owners since dust and hair will stick on the inner walls. Please note that these models aren't released sequentially. The V8 was first released before the V7. The V7 was released afterward and marketed as a cheaper alternative with slightly less power and a shorter range. But these models are close in terms of cleaning performance. The V8 was once Dyson's flagship, doubling the runtime from the V6's 20 minutes to 40 minutes. And these figures are accurate, as the V8 exceeded the 40-minute flame by 1 minute. While the V8 was a significant upgrade over the V6, it still used the same vertically aligned dustbin but with a hygienic system to push dirt down. There wasn't much variance with the framework as both used a trigger for power. However, Dyson upgraded the V6's hard-to-push toggle switch and replaced it with an easier-to-use slide switch in the V8 and then the V7, which then trickled to the V10. The next major upgrade was the V10 Absolute, which was Dyson's first with the horizontally aligned dustbin you'll see in all their latest products. James Dyson mentioned during its unveiling that they'll be stopping R&D with corded vacuums and focusing all their R&D efforts on cordless vacuums. And from what I've seen, they've been serious with the subsequent product releases we'll look at in a bit. Another change introduced in the V10 is the filter. In the early generation V-Series, there were two separate filters, a pre- and post-motor filter. But that changed starting with the V10, as all new Dyson cordless vacuums starting with it had a single filter combining the pre- and post-motor elements. After the V10, Dyson introduced several new innovations in the V11, like the interactive LCD screen that shows the runtime left and a new button switch for toggling between the three power settings. Its standard brush roll also got an upgrade, with the adjustable gates and chunkier brush roll, addressing the snow plowing issue that plagued the V8's brush roll. This wasn't an issue with the V8 Absolute, since it had a soft roller attachment. But when the V11 torque drive came out, it only had a standard brush roll included. So these upgrades were a necessity. And these proved to be effective, as it didn't have any issues picking up large piles of debris, even serious-sized ones. After the V11 torque drive, Dyson introduced a supersized version of it with the Outsize, which was previously tagged as a V11 Outsize. It has similar features as the V11 torque drive, but in a supersized package, hence the name Outsize. This variant has the widest brush roll of any cordless stick vacuum I've tested at over 12 inches, which is in upgrade vacuum territory. Another tweak Dyson implemented into the Outsize is the detachable battery, something that they've slowly added into their new product releases. In fact, select V11 models come with a detachable battery, so there's no need to use any tools to remove it. After the Outsize, Dyson introduced the V15 Detect with several groundbreaking features, namely the laser slim roller, piezo sensor, and the new torque screw tool. The laser slim roller is the first of its kind, with a green laser accentuating almost invisible dust particles better than any LED-equipped stick vacuum I've tested. Dust simply pops with the green laser flashed, which a white LED cannot match. The piezo sensor is another first and utilizes an acoustic sensor to measure debris size and quantity through the LCD screen behind the motor. Specifically, it measures 4 distinct sizes that's updated in real time. And lastly is the torque screw tool, another industry first with a tapered brush roll that funnels hair towards a holding area and then into the dustbin. This tool is perhaps the best at picking up long hair strands. Yes, even large quantities of them. And these features have trickled into older variants, specifically the Outsize. After the V15, I didn't know what to expect since every Dyson release seemed to get a more powerful motor, longer runtime, and better cleaning efficiency. Then came a zag. I'm talking about the OmniGlide and the Micro 1.5 kg. Two purpose-built hard floor vacuums with lightweight frames and subsequently feather light steering. With the OmniGlide, it's the 360-degree steering, which is another Dyson innovation. This clever design has four caster wheels underneath the dual roller nozzle, enabling it to steer in any direction. Because of its 360-degree steering, the OmniGlide didn't have a traditional trigger and handle found in older Dyson models. Instead, it used a push-button switch and a wand-type handle, similar to a broom. And the way this product is designed, you could use it like a broom. The push-button switch also trickled into the Micro 1.5 kg, a miniature version of a full-size Dyson stick vacuum. Again, it's purpose-built for cleaning hard floors inside small homes with its extra light and compact frame. So it does not have a standard brush roll, but only a slim roller nozzle, which I prefer over a full-size roller because it fits in tighter spaces better. Lastly, and the ultimate zag is the V12 Detect, the latest Dyson product I've reviewed. Before I tested it, I thought it was only a variation of the V15 Detect with a button, but it's more than that. This variant is a new submodel in the Dyson ethos, a middle ground option between the Micro and V15. A lighter version than the V15 without the range, capacity, and carpet cleaning limitations of the Micro and OmniGlide. It fills the need that many Dyson customers have been clamoring for, a lighter, more ergonomic product with a push-button switch. And Dyson delivered with the V12 as it offers much better ergonomics without the limitations. The model I have comes with two batteries and two chargers, extending the runtime to over 120 minutes. One model I have yet to test is the Gen5 Detect, which is about to debut in several markets. From what I've read, it's Dyson's most powerful vacuum to date, rated at 262 air watts. Aside from the power bump, other upgrades include the new LCD screen layout and the red power button switch, so this model also ditches the trigger. Runtime is longer, around 70 minutes, and with my experience with Dyson products, these figures are usually underrated as most variants I've tested exceeded the rated figures. Allergy sufferers will also benefit from this model as the Gen5 Detect claims to have 99.99% filtration down to zero point 0.1 microns. One aspect that makes Dyson Cordless vacuum so popular is their versatility. Thanks to its interchangeable tools, consumers can use it in various configurations, mainly as a stick or handheld vacuum. Now the question most people may have is, are these tools backward compatible or interchangeable with other models? The answer is a yes and no. Tools within a specific model range are forward and backward compatible. Models from the V7 to the V15 have the same connecting ports, meaning newer tools like the laser slim roller or the torque screw tool will fit in older models like the V8. However, V12 attachments will not fit in models like the V7, V8, V10, Outsize, and V15. Again, this variant is a new subset in the Dyson ethos. Likewise, the OmniGlide and Micro 1.5 kg use smaller ports that won't fit in the V12 and other full-size options between the V7 and V15. But their tools are interchangeable. So for example, you can use the OmniGlide nozzle in the Micro. Except for a few sub-variants, all Dyson options have a fully sealed system. And I put them through a fog test to see if they can hold fog inside the dustbin, and most didn't leak. The only option that leaked was the V7 motorhead because it didn't have a post-motor filter. Most stick vacuums, yes, even some pricey options, leak during these tests, so it's one reason to consider a Dyson despite the premium cost. Before choosing a Dyson product, you'll need to consider these factors. The most critical is budget. How much are you willing to spend? Doing so will eliminate options priced out of it. And next is to look at the potential features you'll need. For me, the laser slim roller is my favorite because it helps me pinpoint dusty areas I wouldn't notice without it. The next must-have for me is the torque screw tool because nothing wraps on the brush, even with this much hair. Your needs may be different, so look at what features you'll need and look at the model with that tool within your budget. The next factor to consider is power, or airflow to be specific. This aspect is essential, particularly for vacuuming carpet. If you need something to vacuum carpet exclusively, look for a full-sized option like the V15 Detect or Outsize, as these are the best performing options for cleaning embedded stuff. The new Gen 5 Detect should also be on your list with its top-end air-watt figure and lengthy runtime if budget isn't a concern. However, one downside with Dyson's full-size options is their enormous body and heft that could be uncomfortable for long stretches, especially above floors where the extra weight is pronounced. Though the new Gen 5 Detect ditched the trigger and utilized a button above the LCD screen to ease the burden. This is where consumers should consider Dyson slider options, namely the OmniGlide, Micro, and V12 Detect. The OmniGlide and Micro are lightweight options specifically designed for vacuuming hard floors, each with its own advantages. The OmniGlide prioritizes steering with a uniquely designed nozzle with 4 caster wheels underneath and a twin roller design. The Micro 1.5 kg offers better versatility with its more traditional Dyson handheld design with the handle underneath the dustbin, offering better usability as a handheld. These models don't have a standard brush, so don't expect too much from both on carpet. The V12 Detect is the ultimate compromise that bridges the gap between the Micro 1.5 kg and V15 Detect. It's a smaller version of the V15 Detect with a push-button switch, making it a better ergonomic option without the carpet cleaning, capacity, and range limitations. I'd say the V12 Detect is one of Dyson's best value options at its price point, since it has all the latest innovations without the hefty premium cost. With the Gen 5's pending release, I'd expect the V15 prices to go down, so it's another option to consider between these models. As I've said in the previous video, it depends on your answer to these questions, but at a broader scale. How much are you willing to spend? How big is your home? Are you cleaning only carpets or a mix of hard floors and carpets? Do you have pets? If cost isn't an issue, then the best Dyson options are the V15 Detect or the Gen 5 Detect, whenever it's available. These models are the best performing ones out there regardless of surface. Though I have yet to test the Gen 5, its product specification look promising. But realize that these will be expensive, especially the Gen 5. If price is a sticking point, you'll have to pinpoint your needs. Is your home small with only hard floors? The Micro and OmniGlide would be perfect because of their compact frame without compromising on debris pickup because of the soft roller's efficiency. If your home is bigger or has a mix of carpet and hard floors, the V12 would be the better alternative because it has a larger dustbin, more power, and a standard nozzle. It's a smaller version of the V15 without the restrictions of the OmniGlide and Micro. I didn't recommend the V7 or V8 because the price variance between them and the newer models isn't significant. I guess it's something to consider if you're capped at a certain price figure and can't go over it. If this is the case, then specific V7 or V8 submodels may fall into this category. Otherwise, I'd stick with newer ones so you can take full advantage of Dyson's latest features. If you've made it this far, I'd like to say thank you and consider giving this video a thumbs up if it's been helpful to you. It goes a long way in growing this channel and reaching more consumers. Subscribe and hit the bell icon to get notified when I publish new comparisons like this, and I have a bunch lined up. Links are in the description below to the individual product reviews and other Dyson comparisons, so check those out. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.